another edition of Coffee Talk. Richard, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Randy. How about yourself?
Good. You well rested from your California trip?
Yeah, we had a great time out there with the Honor Band of America. Wonderful kids, and it was cold. It's colder out there than it was here, actually. But other than that, it was great.
Yep, yep. And I heard you got a little bit of rain out there too, but
We
fortunately
did.
not on parade day.
No, we were very fortunate.
That's great. Well, I wanted to, before we talk about the main thing today, I wanted to just put that personal advertisement out there about our marching arts intensive that's part of CSI this summer at Bethel College. It's going to be live as well as virtual, and we're really excited about that, aren't we, Richard?
It's going to be awesome. I mean, the staff that's been put together for this, Randy, is just amazing. And I just really encourage everyone to come out. Obviously, if you can't, but you can do it virtually. But man, you should be there because it's going to be some of the best out there.
Yep, and it's going to start the evening of June 15th and carry through the afternoon of June 17th. You can get information on that. That'll be in the link. And thanks so much to Beth Horton behind the scenes putting all those links in there for us. As I reflected over the weekend, after the holidays, just thinking about, refreshing and starting a new semester. One of the things that always comes to mind for me is utilizing the philosophy of why, what, and how in your teaching. And I wanted to talk to you about that today, Richard, because I think it can make a big difference in the way that we approach everything we do. So how do you view that in terms of the scope of everything you did as a director, thinking about why, then thinking about what, then thinking about how you were going to do it?
Well, I'll tell you, Randy, to be honest, I wasn't really great with the why part when I started teaching. It took me a while to understand that my kids needed to understand why we were doing what we were doing. And I think as I've gotten older and more experienced, and I'll just give you two quick examples. We were talking about the honor band out there. And, before we started our first breathing exercise or warm up, I mean, these were kids from all over the country that had never played together, about 300 of them, actually. And so I immediately said, here's why we're going to do what we're going to do in the next 30 minutes, 45 minutes, etc. And I started a rehearsal like that. I did an honor band this weekend and did the same thing. And, as soon as the kids understand why you're doing what you're doing, they tend to be with you. They tend to trust you a little bit more. They don't think it's a power trip that you're on as a director, just trying to get them to follow along what you're telling them to do. But I think it makes them part of the process more than usual.
Yeah, we hear the word relevance spoken a lot in educational jargon. I know that we did when and I struggled with the why as well. And I think as a young teacher, often the why was all about what I wanted to do and not so much about necessarily what was the right thing to do at that given point in time, given the students in front of me. And so I think we learned that. And it's easy to say these things now that, we have taught and finished our teaching careers and are on to other things. It's easy to say that. And I say that to young teachers all the time. It's really easy to say all these things after because we made all those mistakes.
Right.
And now we're sitting here looking at it. But and when you apply the why, the what, and the how, for example, why does my group sound bad? Well, you got to think about what it is that you're not doing potentially, right? You got to think about your teaching techniques. It brings you to that next level of questions with not necessarily all the answers, right? I mean, I know I felt that way as a teacher. I always had a ton of questions and not a whole lot of answers.
Yeah, I was exactly the same way. And I encourage folks that feel that way to call people that can help, email people that can help, ask them to come in and watch you teach or go watch them teach, etc. There's all kinds of ways you can get information that you don't currently have. You just have to be willing to go out and get it. And it's really not that hard because, Randy, as you know, our colleagues all over the world are willing to share this information. So it's just a matter of staying in contact with these folks and asking for help. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you're just one question away, one mentor away from getting on the right path and helping make your kids better. And that's ultimately what this is all about. And so as you're thinking about, your plans for the future with your programs, consider why, what, and how in everything that you do. It can make a huge difference in the way that you approach your teaching. And as Richard demonstrated, it can make a huge difference in how your students feel about you and why you're doing what you're doing in the classroom. So thanks so much for joining us on this edition of Coffee Talk. And We wish all of you a great start to second semester. Stay warm, stay focused, and we're going to make it through to spring.
Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year.
Take care.